Pine Hill. 147 of 150 days on their time, that's 98%. They're approximately 70% done with the sidewalk, curbs and gutters. The grading is pretty much complete. Utility poles are still in the way. The mayor is well aware of every email that I send to MediaCom asking where they are. The last indication I had from the email yesterday was that, again, it's at MediaCom's headquarters awaiting signatures to be sent back to the railroad company for approval of them to bore underneath the railroad. I'm doing everything in my power. I think several people in the community have done everything in their power to help expedite this as much as possible. It's a hindrance to the contractor, and the contractor's here tonight to address some of that. I don't know what else to do other than tell the contractor to go out there and tear them down. But I know he doesn't want to do that because they'll be charged.
Can't put that side of town out of cable. I thought about calling them, telling them we're gonna cut the line and take it down ourselves, but we don't want to put people out of the cable.
And the situation too is the MediaCom doesn't own the power poles. AT&T owns the power poles. MediaCom is the service that's still on the poles. Power's gone, phone's gone, waiting on the cable company. 6 of the 10 new light poles are also installed. If you really like to look at those. As I told you the previous meeting, I asked for an official request from D&D Construction on additional time that they think that they need to finish the project out when it got to the point it looks like they were not going to complete on time. John O'Neill is here with D&D. He's written a letter. You have a copy of it in the file if you haven't read it. I think that you ought to read it right quick. John, I'm going to invite you up to come address our situation.
I don't know where you want to start, Ryan. I have a respectful disagreement on time frame, I think. We had originally sent you a letter for 90 days. The reason we said for the 90 days was that would include completely finishing up the brickwork and everything. I think Ryan's prepared to maybe ask you for 45 days, and like I said, we sort of disagree on that. Where we're basing ours on is that when we started the project, one of the first things we discussed was the problem with the utilities and how to address that. We had preferred to have something concrete. Ryan said they had been contacted, and so the project went ahead and began. I myself was a little concerned because we didn't have anything, absolute in writing, because dealing with the situation before, I know how utilities companies can be, and that's just what we're dealing with today, is they're still have not relocated everything. The problem we ran into the utility companies, MediaCom right now has not, as he said, because they're on the power poles, there are a couple of areas we've had to skip around and block out because of that. Initially, that was not a problem. The thing that did cause the problem initially was there was a large telephone cable over the box cover that we had put with a new arch pipe we put in the bottom in place of the box cover. We had originally bid the job anticipating doing that with some heavy equipment, getting it in very expeditiously. Because the cable was there, we couldn't bring the big equipment in because we couldn't swing and move it to get it in there. So we had to do a very antiquated method of putting it on skids and dragging it and rolling it in the hole. We hadn't anticipated on doing it that way. Took a little more time, took a lot more labor. So it had some effect on us, both time and material or money-wise. It had some effect on us in that standpoint. Right now, the poles being in the way, like I said, do block us completing the project until we move, because we had to block out certain areas. The other thing that we ran into, in the project, you had built in the union prices some relocating some water service. When we started excavating the project, we ran into water services that neither Ryan knew about or the city knew about. Of course, we didn't know about them. And that's one of the biggest problems we ran into. We ran into one line that had to be, once we got Keith down here, we had to get him down here to see what to do. It was a line that had to be shut down, hot tap, and then advertised. That whole process took about 6 weeks, because there's a certain process y'all have to go through as a city to advertise closing the line, hot tapping it, to closing it, to bring it back up into service. The requirement y'all have. Like I said, that whole process took about 6 weeks. So the combination between the difficulties we ran into with water lines that were unknown to anybody and problems with the utilities, we feel like we need more time than what Ryan is suggesting for 45 days. We're willing to compromise, I want to say that. I'm not saying we're stuck hard on any issue, but we feel like we do need more time than 45 days.
And in here it says, you're requesting the 90 days.
We are
but
requesting
you're
90 days.
hoping to get through sooner. You're not going to slow down on the project, or?
No, I hate to say something, but actually I think we're going to get through pretty quick, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the weather's going to do.